Hi, everybody. My name is Lana Scott, and this is Lighthouse. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying if you believe in prayer, pray for Russia and Ukraine, especially the refugees that so many are fleeing their homes. Um, I believe everybody should be praying for peace at this time, or however you touch spirit, because these people need our prayers, if nothing else. If you can give to a worthy charity that's helping out refugees, donate whatever you can. um, I really believe that everybody joining forces, sending positive vibrations, prayers, is a worthy cause. The other thing I'd like to talk about today is this being a channel that talks about giving. There's a lot of different ways you can give. I, in my own neighborhood, have several neighbors that I've been helping out. I've got one that if he needs, his name's Mr. David, and he is hard of hearing. His eyesight's not all that great. He still drives a little bit, but I help him out by if he needs something at the grocery store. When I'm going to the grocery store, I'll run for him too. I'll help him out with I'll run little errands for him. I call him every other day or so to check on him. He doesn't really have no family here, and I just know since I've met him, I've tried to help him because a couple of different people that he's asked to help him have taken advantage of him. So I don't like to see that happen. So if he needs anything from the store or anything, I just ask him when I go, and I pick up whatever he needs. He always gives me the money or whatever, but it's just a small way I can help people in my community. I have another friend whose car broke down, and after I get off of work, I've been running and getting her things. If she needs anything from the store, I also make little runs for her. There's always something you can do if you're a giver, and I'm always giving. I'm always trying to do something to make a difference. That's always been my main thing, is I like to make a difference, and helping out neighbors and people around me, family members, neighbors. That's just a big thing to me. So that's what I like to do. One of the other things I want to talk about on my channel is I'm going to occasionally mention my heroes. One of my heroes is a lady I know named Lisa Tuggle. I've known her about 15 or 16 years, and she used to live down here in South Mississippi. Her husband's a general contractor, and he had done varying things, but one big thing he got into at one point was building log homes, and he built her and him and their family a beautiful log home that a few years later, unfortunately, caught on fire. They lost everything they owned, so they picked up and they moved to Northern California, which is where some of her family lives. Some of his family lives in South California, and while she was there, mind you, this was a housewife that helped her husband with his business by doing all their paperwork and stuff and raising 5 beautiful children. When they got to this little town called Calpine, California, it's at the edge of the Sierra Mountains, beautiful place, a lot of ranches and spread out properties. The little town of Calpine itself is very small, but they're on one side of a very huge valley. And when they got there and they started getting to know people and going to local town meetings, they discovered a need. The town was in need of a fire marshal, a fire chief, or fire captain, however you want to look at it. And because of her caring nature, Lisa decided to step up to the plate. Mind you, my friend Lisa she's about 5'6", 5'7", blonde hair, blue eyes, used to be a model in her younger days. She does her nails, yes, nails. She does her makeup, she fixes her hair, and this lady saw a need and decided to become the fire chief of Calpine, California. So my friend, who to me, I always laugh at her, I laugh with her rather, and I make jokes that she's my model friend. She's my hero, because Lisa saw a need for this fire chief and she became it. And nails, makeup, and hair and all, I have seen this woman pull go head first out of a tower during practice drills. I've heard about her carrying with a rope, rappelling down a mountain. I've heard about her going up or down, I can't remember, maybe it was both, 100-pound, 200-pound dummy, long nails and all. And I'm just amazed at some of the things that she's done with being when she was fire chief. And she did that for about 5 or 6 years. During that time, Lisa also found out that there was a food bank in a little town called Loyalton, which is on the other side of the valley. But she noticed that there wasn't a food bank on her side of the valley. And varying farmers and ranchers and stuff out there have larger families because the kids help out on the ranch or the farm. Well, most of them are ranchers, cattle and big giant meadows and pastures and things. And Lisa noticed that some of the families would have to go all the way to the other side of the valley. So she took it upon herself, her and a few family members. She did all the paperwork, all the research to start a food bank on their side of the valley, which she ran for quite a number of years. She's definitely one of my biggest heroes. And when you're talking about snow that goes up as tall as your car and it's hard to move around, and there's no Walmart in their area. They have to go from Calpine, California into Reno, Nevada, which is where the nearest Walmart is. So you're talking a 45-minute to an hour trip. And if it's bad weather, you're not going nowhere. So Lisa wanted to make sure people on her side of the valley had access to food. So she started that food bank. Lisa Tuggle, you're my hero. I think you were one of the greatest, kindest, loving people I've ever known in my life. And I'm very, very happy and thrilled to say that you're one of my 3 best friends. Hats off to you, Lisa. Hats off. Some of the other things I'd like to talk about is charities. Because sometimes, if you can't help someone in your local neighborhood, there are various charities that, there's always ones for animals, there's ones for people, there's different ones. One of the ones, sorry, I have a cat. One of the ones that I've given to has been Wounded Warriors, which I think most people have heard of. Another one I'm not sure as many people have heard of, it's called Charity Water. And it's a charity that goes into impoverished nations. Like I know one of the places they went was Uganda. And they go there and they build water wells for people that don't have clean drinking water. And that's a big thing because you can do without food for a few days, but you can't do without water. And they go in and they build wells around small communities, and they teach these people how to take care of these wells. And for someone that has to watch their child be dehydrated or starve to death or have any of the things that impoverished nations have to go through, having no clean drinking water is one of those things. In Charity Water, and you can donate as little or as much as you want. I, for a long time, last year I donated $20 a month, and I'm going to donate again this year. But having clean drinking water without bugs or disease or, drinking water is just something that everybody's got to have. So that's 2 of the charities that I like. The other thing I'd like to say is I think everybody could feel better about thinking positive and trying to do something positive in this world today that we have, where we've got this war going on, COVID-19, and if you're watching this, more than likely you know someone or have had someone in your family that has succumbed to this virus. And yes, they have vaccines out there, but not everybody wants to take that vaccine. So that, of course, is personal choice. But with all the negativity and it being so hard to stay positive, I would like to invite you to do prayers and meditations to stay positive. Try to do some small bit, because when you do something to help someone else, it makes you feel good about yourself. Be a light in the darkness. Be a lighthouse in the darkness. Help someone, pray for someone, do something good for someone else, because only by lighting one light can you light something else. And what comes around goes around. The more positivity we put out into the world, the better and better and better our world's going to be. This is the age of Aquarius. How do we want to see our world today? Me, for one, I want to see more positive. I want to see more positive things. And I am, over in this channel, going to talk about different people. I'm going to highlight different people and talk about different things that, to me, are very, very positive. So that's my message for today. Stay positive. Be a light in the darkness. In some small way. Even if you just pray and give a couple of extra dollars at your favorite church or your favorite charity, or you see somebody in the grocery store needs help getting something off a top shelf that's in a wheelchair, one of those little mobilized carts. Do something extra kind today. Be a light in the darkness. I'm Lena Scott. This is Lighthouse.